Everybody. Welcome everybody who's here. Welcome everybody at home to the Borough of Allendale Mayor and Council meeting. It is June 27th, 2024. Linda, please call the meeting to order and read the Open Public Meetings Act announcement.
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the notice requirements have been satisfied. The meeting dates for the year are confirmed at the annual meeting, are posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and on the borough website, published in the record within the first 10 days of the new year, and copies are sent to the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger. Notice of this meeting by the June 17th, 2024 Sunshine Notice was sent to the record, the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger, and has been posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and borough website. Councilman Delavatio.
I'm here.
Councilwoman Holman.
Here.
Councilwoman Lovasolo.
Here.
Councilman O'Connell.
Here.
Councilman O'Toole.
Here.
Councilman Yakarino.
Here.
Mayor Wozinski.
Here, please stand to salute the flag. I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of
United
America,
States of America,
and to the republic for which it
for which it
stands,
stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, there's no delay. All right, next we have approval of minutes. We have May 9th, May 23rd, and June 13th. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second, please.
Second.
Councilman Delavatio.
Yes.
Councilwoman Holman.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell.
Abstain for the 9th, yes for the 23rd, abstain for the 13th.
Councilman O'Toole.
Abstain for the 13th. Yes to what the others.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
All righty, next we have agenda review. We have two ordinances this evening, two introductions and two ordinances on second reading. The second reading ordinances that we discussed last week were the purchase and transfer of a piece of property that was along Memorial Park to the adjoining neighbor. It is just a sliver of land, but there's a big process to do this. So that is what our second readings are. The two introduction ordinances, one is to amend the salary and wage compensation of officers and employees to add a new communications addition to it. The second ordinance is actually to amend one of our street ordinances. We are going to require the utility companies to now pay from curb to curb. Currently, they were only required to pave half of the street when they did some work on just that half. And now we're requiring them to go curb to curb. And I'm sure they're not going to be very pleased about that when they find that out, but we'll deal with that when we come to it. So our consent agenda is matters that are listed. They are routine, but I'd like to point out some interesting things that we've been doing to highlight some of the work that we've been doing. First, I would like to say congratulations to our new DPW employee, Drew. He was a seasonal worker, and now we get to hire him full-time. We worked really hard on our Teamsters agreement, and I think it's very, very fair. I think all the guys are happy, and we're really happy to have Drew as our new employee. And we also actually have a seasonal employee too that we are putting on the agenda for approval today. There's going to be two new SLEO officers. These are special law enforcement officers that are going to be at our schools. There is the purchase of some new cars. And we also are appointing Amanda Richards, who is actually in our admin office. She's going to now take over the Board of Health responsibilities from John Gill. And we also hired a new administrative assistant, Dottie. We went through interviews all this week, so we're very happy to have her joining our team. Okay, so now I'd like to open up the meeting for public comment on any agenda items. Does anybody from the public like to come up and speak on anything on the agenda? Walter, come on up.
Walter,
State your name and address.
Hamilton.
Thank you.
I'm not trying to give anybody a hard time. I'm trying to learn.
Of course,
All right,
of course.
please. Regarding 2407,
2407. Gotcha.
could that be explained a little bit in detail? What else going on?
So do you know where Memorial Park is?
Yes,
Okay, so if you're facing the park on Park Avenue, there's a house right to the left of that.
yes,
So there is a little sliver of land. There's that driveway and there's this tiny little sliver of land. And he wanted to acquire that property because he wanted to make his side yard a little bit bigger. And it was kind of not very useful for the borough anyway, because we had that driveway there. So he was going to maintain it. So we actually sold him that little sliver for $20,000. So these two ordinances are to solidify that sale and the transfer of the property.
Thank you.
One is the conveyance and
Thank
one
you.
is the
I explained that before and I thought I understood.
actual sale. Yeah, we don't really do this often, so it actually was like 7 months of the process because we don't normally sell property. So we just wanted to make sure that we did everything properly. So it's an ordinance, and then he's not going to acquire the property and maintain the property.
So now, right now, they own that piece of land.
It's just a little sliver. Yeah,
yeah.
you wouldn't
No,
miss it.
I can understand that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it actually did make sense. That's why we did it. It made
Yeah.
sense. It looked like it was part of their property
But it
anyway.
required the town to go through this officially.
Correct.
The next question, how many police do we have at this high school?
Oh boy, 2, I think, at each school. 2 at the Highlands,
Yeah, I think so.
2 and 2?
Yeah.
2 at Hillside, 2 in Brookside?
Who determined how many of police
I
are
think there's
there?
only one.
There's one.
Only one at Highlands.
1 at Highlands,
Yeah, one of these.
1 at each school, sorry.
Is one at each school? And that's mandated, is that mandated by law?
It's not mandated by law, but it is something that the school required. So we actually hire them. They go through our police department. We pay them and then the school reimburses us. So they pay for them technically, but they come through, they're
But
actually
the
hired by,
taxpayers end up
they're
with the
hired by us.
charge.
Pardon?
We pay for that regardless who pays them.
Kind of, yeah. Yes,
Thank you.
you're so smart, Arthur.
Thank you.
No, wrong.
He's not.
I'm wrong.
Anybody else from the public have any questions on agenda items only? All right, so I'll bring it back. So for the second readings, ordinance 24-07, Linda, will you please read the title?
The following ordinance published herewith was first read by title only on June 13th, 2024, and posted on the bulletin board of the lobby of the municipal building and borough website. Ordinance 24-07, an ordinance vacating a portion of 3rd Street, Borough of Allendale, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, and conveying such vacated lands to Craig John Foster and Leslie Vienna Foster, husband and wife, as the adjacent property owners.
I'd like to open this to the public. If anybody has any questions on ordinance 24-07, please come up. Not seeing anybody. Second reading is for the second reading of ordinance 24-0.
Do you want a motion or approval of that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to do them together, but do I have a motion to approve ordinance 24-0?
I'll make the motion, Mayor, to approve.
Second, please.
Second,
Roll call.
Councilman Delavatio,
Yes.
Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Next, we have second reading of public hearing for ordinance 24-08. Linda, will you please read that ordinance?
The following ordinance published herewith was first read by title only on June 13th, 2024, and posted on the bulletin board of the lobby of the municipal building and borough website. Ordinance 24-08, an ordinance authorizing the sale of certain land to Craig John Foster and Leslie Vienna Foster, husband and wife, of 146 Park Avenue, Allendale, New Jersey.
I'd like to open up the meeting to the public for ordinance 24-08 to see if anybody has any comments. Not seeing anybody. Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 24-08?
I'll make it.
Second, please.
Second.
Councilman Delavatio,
Yes.
Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Okay, next we have introduction of our ordinance 24-09. This is the ordinance that we are going to add. We adjusted our wages and salaries. We are adding a new communications person. This person is going to take over doing all of our public announcements, take over the website, the newsletter, emergency announcements for the borough. So,
Good.
pardon? Do you have a question? Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 24-09?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Was that 20? Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yep, got
The public, introduction. The public hearing, for this ordinance will be on July 18th, 2024. Council, did I read this?
No,
Ord-
no,
ord-
yeah.
Ordinance 24-09, an ordinance to amend Chapter 53 of the Code of the Borough of Allendale, officers and employees, to fix the salaries, wages, and compensation of the officers and employees of the Borough of Allendale for the year 2024. Councilman Delavatio,
Yes.
Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Next, we have introduction of ordinance 24-10. This is the ordinance that's going to amend our code, which will require all utility companies to pave curb to curb when they have any work work that they're completing in the borough. Linda, will you please read ordinance 24-10?
Ordinance 24-10, an ordinance to amend, supplement, and revise the Code of the Borough of Allendale, Streets and Sidewalks, Chapter 233. Public hearing date for this ordinance will be on July 18th, 2024 at 7:30 p.m.
Excellent, thank you. Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 24-10?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Councilman Delavatio,
Yes.
Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Councilman Delavatio,
Yes.
Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino.
Yes.
Super. Any unfinished business? Anybody? Any new business? Nobody? All right. Committee reports? Why is that smile? 3-minute minimum, maximum.
I'll keep it concise.
Councilman Yakarino, no, you just talk your heart away. ahead.
I tried that once. Crestwood season is off to a great start. Thanks as always to the DPW and the lake staff for keeping things moving smoothly. We now have a consistent rotation of food options for lake members. Thank you to Andy. He's really been kind of leading the charge on that. We greatly, as well as the members, greatly appreciate that. All Crestwood Lake members received an email earlier this week with the choices. We have some really exciting ones: Caribbean cuisine, Italian food, burgers. So we really have a nice variety up there. And I know that we've had a lot of positive feedback from the members so far. Tree work was completed today following last evening's storm. And overall, there was no major damage at Crestwood, which we're very thankful for. Thank you again to DPW and first responders for their efforts all throughout the evening, managing power outages and tree limbs and so forth. We have a final draft for plans on the new concession stand, and we will be going out to bid on that very shortly. Last week, Andy and I attended and hosted the ASA meeting here at Borough Hall. Topics ranged from scheduling updates, fall activities, and then we're also going to be start constructing a plan for long-term field maintenance. Joe, if you may want to talk about that at some point later in the future. This past Sunday, Crestwood Lake hosted its annual family night, which is always a fan favorite, lots of activities for the kids, and is always well received. Again, lots of positive feedback for that. And then our next band night will be July 13th with Allendale's favorite midlife crisis band. Finally, this past Sunday, we hosted our first Allendale Cars and Coffee event downtown. We had 150 plus cars and hundreds of spectators from town, despite the very intense heat, saying lightly. We had a great turnout and received lots of feedback. I do plan to host another one in the fall when the weather is better. And overall, we raised over $4,000, which partly was donated to the mural project, as well as some things going on here in town. Thanks to everyone who helped, especially Andy and I were out the night before moving barricades at 11 o'clock at night. So thanks to Andy. Lastly, we know that tonight is John's last meeting with us. John, I've known you for a long time. We have a great friendship. And, you know, your efforts communicating to the residents of town, just even the simple stuff, you know, showing up to events, acclimating yourself with the residents, being there, promoting our events, it really means a lot to us and then to the residents. So we wish you well always, and you know where to find us, and you always have a spot here. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilman O'Connell.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to thank Andy. I know you had a rough night and all the services, all the emergency services. It took me 20 minutes to get to Mahwah this morning, and when I get a text from you at 3 o'clock in the morning, I know you had a long night.
Yeah,
So,
I got that text too.
So, thank you for all that you do. And, the only thing I have is I hope everybody gets a chance to look behind the red barn. There is a new fire pit. I
Oh,
believe we're waiting for a bench and a plaque to be put on it. And that's from our Boy Scout going for his Eagle Scout, Dean Asplin.
excellent.
And our other scout working on their Eagle project. It's in Scout Council. So
Okay,
she's just waiting for approval from them.
great.
And then she's gonna be moving with hate to say, it, cleaning up our garbage cans.
Okay,
Amy's happy about that.
I'm very happy about that.
The only thing I have to say is,
Project.
John, you're gonna be missed here. I don't wanna talk to you anymore, but, you're gonna be missed because I always look for you at the parade. You're always at the camera,
Yeah.
right on there, so, enjoy, your next adventure. And tell Ron I didn't forget about it.
No, we forgot about it. I'm gonna actually jump to Councilwoman Homan, so I don't forget her.
Sure.
Sorry.
Let's see. So, first of all, this is great that I can join remotely. So appreciate everybody setting that up. And John, best wishes to you going forward. Don't be a stranger. And thank you to Andy and to Mike Dillon and both of their teams for all their work during the storm, but also each and every day. You guys really are excellent leaders and you lead excellent teams. So thank you. And I'm going to hold off on a long report and let Ray give any legal updates we have on water and sewer. From my perspective, we continue to have meetings that push forward different items that we still need to wrap up for the end of the Veolia water sale. And then as a team, we're continuing to work on the challenges that the Saddle River developments can create for Allendale. So thanks, Mayor Wilzinski.
You're welcome. Okay, Councilman Delavatio.
Thank you, Mayor. So last meeting, I gave a pretty extensive report. We had our official DPW meeting that morning. We haven't had a formal meeting since, but I mean, to jump on the bandwagon, Andy, getting to know you and the DPW guys, how hard you work, thank you for all the efforts you put out for the storms, and especially last night, and you and, police and fire, everything you guys do to keep our town functioning behind the scenes that most people don't see. As I mentioned in our last meeting, we are investigating companies to come in and assess our fields. I know that's ongoing, so when we get more information, obviously that'll come forward. I want to welcome Drew and Dylan to the Allendale family. It's great that that's passed and approved, so it's official. So welcome aboard to those guys and to the rest of the team. And then to John, haven't had a chance to get to know you too long, but it's been a pleasure. I mean, another Fairlawn guy, knowing a lot of the same people. I know you're a good guy, you're going to be missed. And hope you keep in touch. And as Tyler had said, remember, you always have a home here in Allendale.
Councilman O'Toole.
Thank you, Mayor. The Public Safety Committee met last Tuesday. We discussed our usual topics of traffic, including that downtown and truck traffic at 2:30. Police Department is currently preparing for renewal of our accreditation status. The accreditation process ensures the department's policies and procedures are in compliance with established laws, guidelines, and best practices. The State Association of Chiefs of Police are expected to perform an on-site assessment during the first quarter of next year. The fire department's had quite a few members complete advanced training courses, including incident management, safety officer, hazmat incident management, swift water, and things of that sort. They've also increased their recruiting efforts and have added a couple of new members. So we're happy because they use the help. AVAC reports that they're holding their own, but they are also in need of members during the day. So if anyone has the ability to respond during the day, they would love to talk to you.
Especially drivers, correct?
Especially drivers, yeah. Finally, Allendale's emergency services are busy planning with the holiday observers for a safe and enjoyable 4th. We had a call with the PD and the holiday observers yesterday or the day before to discuss all the logistics. So everything is well in hand, and everyone's ready to make it another great 4th here in Allendale. Although it was a quick storm, left its mark. Thank you to our first responders and to our DPW for assisting our residents and all the hours put in to get everyone back up and running and respond to any problems that occurred overnight. John, best of luck. I'm sure our paths will cross many times in the future, and I will always remember sitting in this room during COVID. Filming the mayor's reports. So, thank you, Barry.
All right, our staff reports, our clerk, Linda Servina.
Thank you, Mayor. On Tuesday, I sat with our intern Gabe and explained to him for a few hours the many duties of a municipal clerk. After that, we sat down and we worked on this agenda for tonight's meeting. So we did the agenda, we did the resolutions together. So that was a lot of fun. John, as you prepare to embark on the next chapter of your journey, I want to take the moment to express my sincere appreciation for all that you've done for the Borough of Allendale and the clerk's office during your time here. You have transformed our communication strategies. You've been a beacon of creativity, always pushing the boundaries and inspiring the team to think outside the box. You have always been approachable, supportive, and willing to lend a helping hand. Your dedication, hard work, and positive attitude have made a significant impact to the borough residents and borough employees. Whether it was offering support and guidance or simply brightening our days with your smile, you've been an invaluable part of our team. Thank you for your contributions, your friendship, and countless ways you've helped make our workplace better. While we may miss you dearly, we are also excited for the new opportunities and challenges that await you. May your next chapter be filled with success, joy, and fulfillment.
And John, do you have a report?
Just thank you for all the kind words. It's been an amazing, almost 4 years. Goes quickly.
Yeah,
It's funny
wow.
that, starting here, right in the thick of COVID, figuring things out on the fly, the online meetings, and it was a lot of fun, great learning experience, and it was definitely a challenge. I want to thank you, Mayor, and this council, and prior mayors and council members that I've worked with over the 4 years. Having been in government for a long time and just kind of being involved, you really do have something special here in town, because you just hear of all the craziness that happens in all these other municipalities, and having a mayor and council, and this is prior mayors and councils, you all just really get along and you work well together. And I hope the residents of Allendale really understand how hard this council works, and that it truly is a love of this town. And it really has become a second home. Fairlawn will always be my number one, but Allendale has very quickly become a second home for me. I've always, I always joke about the greeter at all the events, the cleanups and stuff like that. Just have a great town here. So you're very, very lucky. So thank you all.
Oh,
Thank you.
John.
Thank you.
Andy, our DPW superintendent, still awake.
John, just gonna echo what everybody else said. It was a pleasure working with you. You have some big shoes to fill. So, like everybody's saying, our emergency services stepped up as usual. Teamwork is the name of the game, and always play that way. So, everybody stepped up, long hours, but traffic's flowing and everything's cleaned up, so which is a good thing. I want to say thank you very much for appointing Drew as our new full-time laborer of the DPW. Drew is a workhorse, and everybody appreciates him at the DPW.
Super.
Also, thank you again for getting everything together for the contract. Move forward, and that's a blessing. And
Starting to like negotiating these contracts. I don't know if that says.
No one ever.
I know.
Thank you very much for the 2 new vehicles.
Yeah, I'm the first one that gets to ride that other one, right?
Absolutely. The new Gator just.
The Gator. I want to watch.
Arrived yesterday, so it's locked up at DPW.
Good.
For the mayors that are a little first ride. But,
But it crashes. Any instructions?
and, I'll be away on vacation, as I said in an email earlier. Dan Davis will be in charge of DPW on the way, but as usual, if
Great.
anything occurs or I'm needed, phone call.
You'll be here for your first 4th of July in Allendale.
Yes, I will.
He's coming back for that.
Great.
Attorney Ray West.
Thank you, Mayor. Busy couple of weeks. As was mentioned, DPW contract has now been completed, which is nice to have that done for years going forward. Working with you and the administrator on certain personnel matters this week, which have kept us a little bit busy. With Chief Dillon on certain departmental matters, and also with our OEM director, who looked eerily like Chief Dillon on some matters involving the fire department. As recently as today, because apparently there are a couple of still pending matters that involve him in multiple capacities. To Councilwoman Holman's point, I guess the best news in terms of the sale of the utility is that we seem now to have agreement with Veolia on what New Street and the DPW site looks like to the satisfaction of both the borough and Veolia. And the third party to that negotiation is New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, their Green Acres program, because certain of the area that is not going to be either used by the borough or by Veolia is going to be the property that will be offering to Green Acres as a set off what's called a diversion process. So it looks like we've got at least agreement with Veolia, and hopefully DEP and Green Acres will buy into it, and we'll be able to put that major piece in the puzzle. And what's good about that, if and when we get Green Acres done, is that there is a major sum of money being held in the escrow account. It gets released to the borough, which I'm sure Allison will love to hear. This morning I was in court on our PK litigation. We had a case management conference with the judge there. His direction is that I'm to finish the depositions of the two principals of PK. In fact, it required me getting the judge to issue a court order to get that done because the other side has procrastinated. But those deps will be completed on July 29th. And then the judge directed that he wants a settlement conference immediately following, even before anything else is done in the litigation. So that was very positive news. Tom Borges been working on the cell tower assiduously. TJ's been involved with the clerk's office and Chief Dillon on Oprah matters. I think half the world has been involved in an affordable housing issue involving a unit that wound up in foreclosure. We may have made some progress in at least understanding the lay of the land. I'm not sure that we've made progress yet in resecuring the unit, which is our ultimate goal. The mayor crept into my world today by winding up with, or yesterday, for an hour and a half on an exploratory conference with the Public Employment Relations Committee. I'm not sure we didn't bore her to tears, but I think by and large things went well, and really that involves I'll say a dispute with our PBA unit. So I think by and large it went well from our perspective, but there'll be more of that going forward. And that's about it. John, obviously, I mean, I usually get here early, and who do I get to talk politics and music to?
There you go.
I'm going to be here by myself for an hour, but we'll miss you.
All right, now my mayor's report. Thank you very much. 210 West Crescent is moving along. There's going to be another meeting tomorrow morning. Actually, I will not be at, but Joey will be at that. So maybe Bill will.
I guess I will.
You don't have to be. We actually have weekly meetings, and it's amazing to see each week how much the project progresses. Just having the paint on the wall now in the gym, it looks really, really good. And then we had our first internal meeting because we still have to figure out how we're going to have this work for the whole community. And we're not going to have keys and write things on calendars anymore. It's all going to be electronic. It's going to be state of the art. And we're really trying, our best to do it as seamlessly as possible. It is for Allendale residents. We're not looking to have anybody outside of Allendale. So we're still working out all the kinks with all of that. And also I've been working a lot this week on the grant money. So we have grant money. We were awarded $750,000. They just want us to jump through hoops to release the money. So hours and hours and hours of work that we still have to do for them to release the money, but they do say it's ours. We were very busy with interviews this week, so we're really happy that we have our new admin assistant that will be starting on July 8th. So I think she'll fit in nicely. Councilwoman Lobasello and myself met with the Hillside School kids, and they had a lot of great questions, and they wrote us a lot of they drew us a lot of wonderful pictures. They talked about all the places in Allendale that were their favorite, so we're going to put them all around town. There's some restaurants, Dunkin' Donuts, places like that. So it's actually really cute. And I have a couple letters here too. I guess the kids just writing in. I couldn't read this one. Ray had to read it for me. As Ray mentioned, fair share housing planning continues. So we're working hard. What we're doing is our hazard feasibility study. This is the study where we take analysis of the whole entire town. We look at what climate changes might have happened in the past 10 or so years that will afford us to potentially, preserve some of the land so we don't have to increase flooding and some of the other issues that we've been having with all the extra building that's going on. And as I've mentioned, it's not just in the building in Allendale. We're still dealing with 400 units that Saddle River's trying to put in literally on our border on Borough Line Road. And they want to use our sewer system. So we are working very hard to make sure that Allendale's protected and our infrastructure is protected. We had a library board meeting this week. The children's library looks amazing. They decorated. The library is always doing some great stuff. So go and visit them. Andy, thank you so much. Staying up all night, pulling an all-nighter. What a storm. We did not expect this at all, but actually I received a bunch of kudos from residents. So you did a great job. The crew did a great job as well as the police. Andy also offered to pick up the brush. I told him it could be very dangerous, but we put in there, please, residents, do not empty out your whole entire backyard and put your old sticks and stuff. This is just storm brush, and we will come around and we will offer that service and pick that up. So we had our Cars and Coffee, as Councilman Yacarino mentioned. It was my first car show ever. I got to pick out the prize. I have a tendency to like the old cars, I've found out about myself. But what was really special about it was it brought the whole community together. I could not believe how many people were there. There was a ton of people there. And it was just like Dine the Dale. Allendale came together again, and it was for the mural project. So it was just a great community event. So it was a lot of fun despite the heat, but it was actually really super.
Thank
you. Gabe, welcome aboard. We are happy to have you. We love to be mentors to the young kids. We love to have partnership with Highlands. So anything that you need from us, please just let us know. And finally, John. John, I just have to say you're just a great all around, kind of go-to person. I never have to worry that you're having a bad day. I never have to worry about just picking up the phone and calling you. You really are just the go-to person, have always helped us just manage and work around things. You understood like my vision of getting the information out there to the community, and you transformed that newsletter to something I could not even imagine. I had it as this little Word document, and it's just an amazing monthly piece of information for our residents. And just like everything that you did. So, just really was great harmony in the office, all the events that you did, all the lugging of all stuff, just bringing everything and making sure that we were all well documented. You made us all look really good with all of our events. So honestly, you really can't be replaced. And we do wish you luck, and you do have always a home here in Allendale. So we will see you soon. So with that, I would like to open up the meeting to the public for any items. Anybody from the public would like to speak on anything? Come on up. I think you do. I think you want to speak. I can tell. Come on up. State your name and address for the record, please.
I'm Alex Scamarella, and I live in 1603 Whitney Lane. And I'd just like to thank Councilman O'Toole for you're taking time to meet with me on my Citizenship in the Community Merit Badge. And I'd also like to thank Councilman Lovasolo for supporting my community service hours for this badge. I've enjoyed helping cleaning the John Fell House lawn in preparation for planting the flags for the 4th of July. Thank you guys so much for your time. Have a good night.
Super. Thank you very much. Well done is right. Anybody else from the public like to speak on anything? Not seeing anybody? I'd like the motion to adjourn the meeting.
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a good-
Bye.